Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at something that is just delightfully unique and, honestly, incredibly efficient. We are going to deconstruct an absolute masterclass in 15-second comedic storytelling. Yep, 15 seconds. We're analyzing a tiny script called Rex and the Watermelon Seeds. I mean, have you ever wondered how writers can actually pull off a complete, deeply satisfying story arc? A real beginning, middle, and end, in literally less time than it takes to tie your shoes. Well, that is exactly what we're unpacking today, hitting every single beat along the way.
Okay, let's dive into this. Right out of the gate, we're hit with a question that sets up the core tension of the whole micro-narrative. What happens when an unstoppable appetite meets unreachably short arms? Every great story needs conflict, right? And here, it's immediately established through, well, basic biology. Our protagonist desperately wants something, but his own physical form makes getting it incredibly complicated. It's that classic unstoppable force meets an immovable object setup, but with a really fun prehistoric twist.
Section 1. Setting the comedic stage. Let's look at the daytime jungle clearing where it all kicks off.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the script uses literal timestamps to compress a sprawling classical narrative arc into just fractions of a minute. If you break down the timeline, you've got the approach right at 5 seconds, the climax, the big bite, at 10 seconds, and the resolution of the aftermath right at 15 seconds. It gives us that perfect beginning, climax, and resolution neatly sliced into 5-second intervals. Honestly, it's structural storytelling efficiency at its absolute finest. We've got a cute little T-Rex, a massive red watermelon sitting on a stone, and some seriously upbeat marimba music. Listen, when that bouncy marimba music hits, you immediately know we're in for a joyful, fast-paced ride. Our little T-Rex, Rex, spots this gigantic, delicious-looking slice of watermelon just sitting there perfectly. His eyes literally pop out with joy. He's licking his lips, the energy is through the roof, the music is just bouncing along, and he rushes straight toward his prize.
Section 2. The Short Arm Struggle, a truly tragic biological constraint. Now, what's really interesting about this is the heavy contrast it highlights between that massive slice of watermelon and those famously too short arms. We have to treat this fundamental conflict with a bit of serious analytical gravitas, because we're talking about the biological constraint of the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex. This isn't just a minor hurdle, It is the tragic yet deeply comedic flaw of our protagonist. On one hand, you've got Rex's intense lip-licking desire, and on the exact opposite side, you have the stark physical impossibility of him actually picking up his meal. He literally cannot reach it. The massive slice just sits there, practically taunting his short-arm struggle. It is the ultimate prehistoric standoff.
Section 3. The Slapstick Seed Payoff. Let's move to and see how this builds as we approach the crucial 10-second mark.
The pacing here deliberately, almost agonizingly slows down. Rex realizes he can't use his hands, so he leans in, preparing to bite the watermelon directly from the stone. The suspense here is just wonderful. What exactly is going to happen when those massive jaws finally meet that slippery fruit? Bam! The physics kick in incredibly fast. Let's break down this chain reaction frame by frame. Step 1, the teeth make contact with the slippery fruit. Step 2, all that pressure causes the slippery seeds to squeeze and shoot out like tiny little rockets. Step 3, they fly through the air, ricochet right off a nearby tree trunk, and bounce back. Step 4, they perfectly gently pepper our poor Rex right in the face. It is a rapid-fire slapstick chain reaction unfolding in the absolute blink of an eye.
And we absolutely cannot ignore the audio. Machine gun, pop, pop, pop. If we analyze this through an almost art historian lens, this specific sound effect is vital to the whole composition. That pop, pop, pop perfectly bridges the chaotic physical action of those rocket-like seeds flying through the air. It's the auditory driving force of the climax. It gives this aggressive, percussive weight to the slapstick comedy and firmly anchors the visual of those seeds ricocheting around the jungle clearing. Section 4. A perfect punchline. The final 5 seconds.
This is where we see how the character's reaction serves to perfectly stick the landing of the gag. The actions happen, the climax has peaked, and everything now hinges entirely on the aftermath. Just picture the visual comedy here. Rex, completely covered in black seeds, just blinks. The sudden stillness after all that chaotic pop, pop, pop is hilarious all on its own. But the fact that the black seeds have landed perfectly to look like little freckles on his face, it instantly diffuses all the built-up tension. Our fierce, hungry apex predator is suddenly reduced to looking like a cute, freckle-faced kid who just made a total mess of his afternoon snack.
Now notice his specific physical reactions here. First, he breaks the fourth wall. He looks directly at the camera, right at us. Second, the burp.
But it's not some terrifying dinosaur roar, it's a tiny puff of pink smoke, subtly acknowledging that, hey, he did manage to taste the fruit. And finally, he giggles. These elements resolve the entire conflict with pure, undeniable charm. I mean, it's virtually impossible not to smile at this sequence.
So, the crucial point is, which brings us to the ultimate thesis statement of our script: short arms, big appetite, along with a T-Rex and watermelon emoji. This concluding text perfectly summarizes the character, the biological conflict, and the comedy, all in 4 simple words. It ties a neat little bow around everything we've just analyzed.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final, slightly mind-bending thought. How much story can you actually tell in exactly 15 seconds? We just deconstructed a protagonist's deep desire, a physical conflict, a high-energy slapstick climax, and an incredibly charming resolution, and it was all executed in the time it takes to take a deep breath. It truly leaves you marveling at the supreme efficiency of this comedic structure. Keep this in mind the next time you're scrolling through short videos. What hidden masterclasses of storytelling might be flying right by you? Thanks for hanging out with me today, and keep learning.